4:30 a.m. here in the Iranian capital, Tehran. You're watching Press TV's World News. Our top story for this half hour: Iran has joined the chorus condemning the massive bomb explosion that rocked the Pakistani city of Lahore on Sunday. Foreign Ministry spokesman Hossein Jabari Ansari said the attack proved that today nowhere is safe from terrorism. He said the international community needs to immediately confront extremism. Earlier, the UN chief called the attack an appalling act of terrorism. He demanded that the perpetrators be swiftly brought to justice. Pakistan is mourning the victims of Sunday's bloody terrorist attack that targeted an Easter celebration. Church services are being held in the city for the victims. The bombing in Lahore claimed over 70 lives and left hundreds more injured. Officials say they expect the death toll to rise. Many children are set to be among those killed. Well, our correspondent Jawed Rana joins us now from the Pakistani capital, Islamabad, to tell us more about the aftermath of the bombing in Lahore. Jawed?
Well, most of the victims are Muslim, not Christians. Christians were part of the overall victims that were there. Some angles are being twisted by the wired news agencies, particularly the Western wired news agencies, which are trying to portray as if it was only Christian community was targeted. Unfortunately, it was an attack against all religions, where people, Muslims, Christians, everyone was there, and most of the victims were the Muslims. But as we see situation in Pakistan now, the Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and had a high-level security meeting, and they have decided to step up their military operation against these militants who are largely holed up in northwest of Pakistan. More than 4,000 militants have been killed, but nonetheless there seems to be no sign of ending this unfortunate insurgency which is gripping the entire country. Now we have seen a new pattern of violence in Pakistan, whereby these militants are trying to cause major ripples by killing as many people as they could have killed. One of the faction of the Taliban have taken responsibility, though we really doubt about the justification they have come up with. There is no information about what justification they have come up with. Generally, they try to link it maybe with the Christian holiday, or they might have made an attempt to kill Christians. But in the process, most of their victims are Muslim, and it is a very unfortunate that these militants, these terrorist groups who are trying to pose themselves as if they are the champion of Islam, but they are ending up actually defaming Islam, and that is what the opinion of the people on the streets. There has been a lot of resentment against them, which has grown up again. But the bigger trouble is, where is the enemy who are perpetrating such terrorist attacks? We haven't heard from the government so far as to who is behind them, but generally they blame India, that India has been sponsoring some of the militant groups in Pakistan who have their sanctuaries inside Afghanistan.
And what about contingency plans by the army to further ensure safety?
Well, army has made it clear that they are going to go after these terrorists. But the point is, they are already after them. They have already killed as many as 4,000 militants. But it becomes quite difficult to prevent each suicide bombers, even if they are few in number, even if they are not more than in double digits. Nonetheless, they can cause a lot of damages to the human lives, and that is what we have seen yesterday, because it becomes very difficult to stop suicide bombers who have been brainwashed in a particular environment. Where they are brainwashed, they are told that certain groups are non-Muslims, and it is a so-called jihad. So in that kind of situation, it becomes very difficult to bring an end to the militancy altogether. There is a reduction in terrorist attacks, but it is not being eliminated primarily because of the fact that some of the suicide bombers are there. These militants have managed to camouflage themselves in the population centers, and from there they can conveniently move in, and in a situation where they simply want to target common people in the park, in the streets. Now there cannot be security, cannot be deployed everywhere on the streets in the past, and that is the main reason that these terrorists managed to sneak in and cause such big mayhem.
Thank you very much, Javed. Press TV's Javed Rana joining us from the Pakistani capital, Islamabad.